This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's going on, everyone? I'm your host. Welcome to another edition of Broseph Sports. Let's get into this NBA draft, which was amazing, especially for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves drafted two amazing guards who are going to be in a great position to succeed, in my opinion. And today, got the Twins facing off against the Mariners. I'm eager to see this game. I know it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fun matchup. Right now, we got the Pirates facing off against the Braves right now, and they're winning 4-1 in the bottom of the fifth with no outs. This is really interesting to see that the Braves are losing to the Pirates. Hopefully the Braves can bounce back. I know they're going through a lot right now, losing one of their best players for the season. So my thoughts and prayers are out to good old Ronnie. Great baseball player. So I'm excited for this Twins matchup against the Mariners. Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, Carlos Carrera. It's going to be a great game. I need these guys to be on point. Oh, so 3 days ago, next Wolves analyst pled guilty to computer crime. Let's touch into this really quick. It's not a good sign So, a former Wolves employee pled guilty Wednesday to a misdemeanor charge of unauthorized computer access, according to court records reviewed by ESPN, after being fired and arrested in March for allegedly stealing thousands of internal files, including strategic NBA information from a Timberwolves team executive. Samak Sakar, 33, also faced felony third-degree burglary charge. That charge will be dismissed at his July 9th sentencing, according to an official from the Hennepin County Attorney's Office in Minneapolis. So, Shakar previously served as a coaching analyst for the Timberwolves. His attorney declined to comment. In a statement, the team said the Minnesota Timberwolves will not be commenting on legal proceedings related to former employees. See, shit like this, you don't like to see. You have to be on point with bringing people in to work with the team. Got to be able to trust these people to be able to do the right thing, do their job. Whether they're still on the team or not. There's just like it's a real head shaker right there. Previously, a source told ESPN that the team wouldn't pursue criminal charges against Shakar. See, I'm not that nice of a person. All right, I know the Timberwolves don't want anything to do with this, but if it was me, I was the Timberwolves, dude, I'm throwing charges at this dude. I mean, who's to say that these things that he was files and stuff that that he had, who's to say he wasn't leaking this and teams weren't even like looking at this to use against us. And like, he stole thousands of internal files with strategic NBA information. I mean, this is ridiculous. And you're just gonna let this dude just not get charged by the team? This is to me, this is asinine. If it was anybody else in this situation, whether it be at like a college level or lower, hell, maybe even a different team in the NBA, or let's say, what if it wasn't NBA, and say if it was another pro sports association? If it was anybody else, they would have got charged. I mean, come on now. To let this dude just walk away with no charges. And he served as a coaching analyst for the Timberwolves. This Shakar guy who had faced a third-degree burglary charge on top of this, him pleading guilty to this misdemeanor on Wednesday for the unauthorized computer access for the Timberwolves. Dude, so according to the initial complaint to this, Timberwolves executive vice president, who oversees the team analytics department, left a hard drive connected to a laptop in his office at the Target Center in downtown Minneapolis on February 2nd. That drive contained personal financial information as well as private information for the team, including employment and player contracts. When Gupta, the guy who left the hard drive, turned to work on February 5th, the hard drive was missing, and subsequent surveillance reviewed by security revealed that Shekhar had twice entered Gupta's office on February 3rd. After looking to see if anyone could see him, then he left. Now, Shekhar was fired immediately, from what the complaint stated. Another employee was able to recover the hard drive from Shekhar, and the team determined that the forensic analyst, after forensic analysis, that he had accessed more than 5,000 files and downloaded them to another device. He was arrested. And police executed a search warrant of his home where they found several hard drives and a computer and 3 tablets. Second warrant revealed that one of the devices contained information from Gupta's hard drive. Questioned by the police, Shekhar said that at the time, as a member of the coaching staff, he had the hard drive to put some stuff on it, but he forgot to return it. He already lost right there when he said that he had borrowed the hard drive when there was evidence and video surveillance to prove that he was in the office. Dude, you already got caught. Just, admit that you effed up at this point. Complaint also noted that Shekhar had been transferred out of Gupta's department in August of 2023 and had to the coaching staff because of poor job performance. Dude, you were already crap at your job. So this tells me you took this hard drive to try to undermine the executive vice president at the time and to undermine the team because of your shitty job performance. You had a hard drive. You downloaded like 5,000 files against policy. At that rate, it was already theft. So it's not like you were gonna get away from this, dude. And here's another troubling fact here. So the dude had previously also worked in analytics related roles for the New York Knicks and the Pelicans. And he also worked as a basketball operations intern for the Houston Rockets. So who's to say he didn't do this with the Knicks, with the Pelicans? And at this point, who's to say he didn't, already when they had found this hard drive of his that contained this information from Gupta's hard drive, who's to say he wasn't already sharing this shit out and leaking this shit out? This is as asinine as it gets. Like I said, Timberwolves are nice. They're not pursuing charges. If it was me, yeah, I would have been pursuing charges. Give me the best charge available to put this pissant behavior to a stop. once and for all. Give this dude the max at the table. Like I said, he worked for the Knicks before, and he worked for the Pelicans. Who's to say that this dude wasn't doing this before? Like, seriously, dude. That's just crazy to me. So, from what I was also reading about the Timberwolves, they had traded Wendell Moore Jr. I don't know if this is true or not during the draft, but Timberwolves drafted Ron Dillingham from Kentucky, guard. He's 6'1", 176 pounds. He's 19 years old. Hell of a kid. You know, he's from North Carolina. Got picked round 1, pick 8. Timberwolves moved up and they traded for this pick. I really like the pick. Think this benefits the Timberwolves. You know, coming to the end of the season, that was a big question mark whether or not what the Wolves were going to do at point guard. Because once Conley gets ready to step away from the game, who do you really got now? Now the Timberwolves got Ron Dillingham, and they ended up drafting Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois, who's 6'6", 225 pounds. This kid's a beast too. I mean, they solidified that when Conley does step away, they're going to be able to have depth at this position. But right away from the starting point, Dillingham's going to be in there playing. That's what Tim Conley was saying. He said right at the jump, he's going to be out there, in that starting role. He's going to be rotating with Conley. I mean, this benefits these two kids. Have a point guard like Conley, Mike Conley, to help them out. This is big for the Timberwolves. They really aced this draft. Terrence Shannon's 23. He's from Chicago, Illinois. Like I said, first round, pick 27. This was a good draft for the Timberwolves. And it's going to be interesting to see what this new group of kids that they got in the draft will be able to do with the team right now that they got right now around them and progress this team. At this point, the Timberwolves are in a great position. Tim Conley, really good guy. Look at his success with the Denver Nuggets. This is a good situation for the Timberwolves. I really like it. Boom, 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 boom. So going back to the Twins playing the Mariners today, and we already had beat the Mariners yesterday 5-1, crushed them. So I'm hoping that we end up winning this series by beating the Mariners today. Carlos Carrera comes into this game with a batting average of .311. He leads the team. Looking for him to excel along with Jeffers with his 13 home runs. Hopefully he can make it 14, hell, even 15. I'd take that. And going into the NFL scene, the question marks are: is Jordan Addison going to have a good year too? And in my opinion, I think he's going to excel year two. I mean, we got a new quarterback, and he doesn't have to automatically be a superstar or playmaker. He just has to play decent. He's got really good weapons around him. Justin Jefferson. He's got Jordan Addison now. TJ Hawkinson, when he comes back healthy, he's going to be on point. Add in the addition of Robert Tonyan this offseason, and you bring in a guy like Aaron Jones who can catch out of the backfield. That's an automatic win-win situation for the Vikings offense. So I think he's going to have a really good sophomore year, in my opinion. Patriots rookie Jalen Polk has some tools to make an immediate impact. See, there's already talks about this guy's gonna excel in New England. He's got Drake May throwing him the ball. That kid did excellent in college. He's got KJ Osborne around him. KJ played with the Vikings. People already know what KJ can do when he's utilized. This looks to me like it's going to be a promising receiving core. May not be great right away. Once these guys get gelling together, I think Drake May's going to eventually be comfortable in the situation. Only thing I can say is when it comes time that they need to start building up this offensive line to get protection around Drake May, this next coming up draft, that's what I do. Depending on how much money they got right now, whoever's left out there in free agency, you can bring them in, as like a mentor, as like a bridge player to the offensive line, something that's going to help protect Drake May. That's what needs to happen. Another person who I think is going to have a good season this year, Will Levis. I mean, last year I saw this kid's potential. I really did. The way he can move around. I mean, dude, I look at him and I see a young Drew Brees. Maybe not at that elite level yet, like Drew. Maybe not at that elite level like Drew Brees, but with the right coaching, the right people around them, the right players around them, like the weaponry, the protection. I think he has the tools to really succeed in Tennessee, depending on how Tennessee, brings in weapons to keep weapons around him. For him to have a running back now like Tony Pollard, this really helps out the Titans. I mean, yes, they lost King Henry. Be bringing a much younger and explosive Tony Pollard. He doesn't have the elite strength and power like Derrick Henry, but once he breaks away, he's gone. It's all smoke to the end zone. So I think he's going to have a great year. And another question that's out there, can Steelers safety Mika Fitzpatrick be healthy this season? See, whether he's healthy or not, I don't think is really going to have much of an impact. I mean, the Steelers chose to trade for this dude. Steelers have been sitting with this dude for a while now. Him getting injured, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think the Steelers are still going to have another winning season to add under Mike Tomlin's belt. They haven't had a losing season with Mike Tomlin yet. So really, I don't really think this impacts them a lot. Now, what I do think is if he can't stay healthy, what I think is going to eventually happen is I think they're going to have to look to move on from Mika Fitzpatrick. So obviously, if he can't stay healthy, it doesn't solve anything for that secondary. You need to be able to have a guy in there that can be healthy. Nothing against him, but it's like, dude, if you can't be healthy, then we got to look elsewhere. And going into talking about the Giants, I think Brian DeBoer has done an excellent job with rebuilding this Giants defense. The offense is still in the stages of getting built up to what it needs to be, but he's done a remarkable job with building up this defense of a elite core. And you bring in a guy like Malik Neighbors, I think that really benefits Daniel Jones. Not a fan of Daniel Jones. He earned his money by beating the Vikings up for that wild card. I think they overpaid him, and now they got Drew Lock there now. I think it's only a matter of time before they can actually succeed. When they do, I think eventually they'll have the right quarterback. Hell, if I'm the Giants, you go out, you draft Quinn Ewers out of Texas. Him throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors, I think would really help the Giants solve this struggle. Build up that offensive line. Go out and get you a tight end. Darren Waller already said that he's retiring at the end of this year. Get you a nice tight end to help build up this offense. I think once that happens, I think eventually the Giants can, be in that situation where they can contend for the NFC East. I think, like I said, I think the Bulls done an amazing job with building up that Giants defense. I just need to see more on the offensive side. Once we see more changes and more necessary moves to that offense, I think the Giants will be in good hands. But right now, you got Daniel Jones and you got Drew Lock, and I need to see more out of them two, because we're looking at Malik Neighbors, amazing wide receiver taken from this draft. I need to see more out of both of them, depending on whether who plays or not. You got to be able to get this kid the ball. You can't get this kid the ball if you're on the ground and if you're messing up. Okay, but him or Locke being on the ground also falls on the team getting him protection. Like I said, go out and get that pro center that just got released by the Chargers, Lindsey. As a Viking fan, I want Lindsey because I think he's an upgrade over our current center, Garrett Bradbury. But once the Bull figures out this offense for the Giants, once they can get a right group in there for this offense, get a right quarterback in there, like I said, if it was me, I'm drafting Quinton Ewers out of Texas. Legitimate quarterback. He's got a hell of strength in that arm. Way, way better than Daniel Jones and way better than Drew Lock. But the goal has to be getting Malik Neighbors the ball. I mean, they're coming off of a 6-11 season. I mean, at some point the bar has to be raised. All right. Can they get 7 or 8 wins? That's still unseen right now. If their defense can play good ball, hold teams, the Vikings got to play these guys week 1. So already going into this game, I think our defense has a chance to really wreak havoc for their offense. But on their defensive side, I really think that they can also dish out the same with the moves that the Bulls made for the Giants. So I think he gets this figured out. I really do. I think, eventually these struggles for the Dallas Cowboys with their contracts, I think it's eventually going to take a toll on the Cowboys. So eventually the Cowboys are going to slip down. Yes, I said it. You brought in Mike Zimmer. Hasn't really had much communication with that defense since getting hired in February. That's a problem. As a defensive coordinator, you should be already out there getting to know your players, getting this defense down to a T, so your players already have a system in place that you're giving out to them. Like, dude, it's not your first rodeo in the league. But also at the same time, this also falls on Jerry Jones. It's like, what type of team are you running here where you're gonna overpay Dak Prescott, still hasn't got over this playoff hump yet. So I look at it in a couple of years, if this doesn't get turned around for the Cowboys, then be able to get a playoff win, and Prescott continues to play like crap in the playoffs because he's a regular season quarterback. The guy's the black Kirk Cousins, all right? Good in the regular season, comes up short in the playoffs. same result. I think once they're free of Dak Prescott, whether he be released, whether he be traded, once you get a really good quarterback in there that can win you some playoff games, can help the team win in these big games, these big situations, they'll be fine. But another aspect of the Cowboys actually building up is getting these contracts under wrap. You got Michael Parsons coming up on the payroll. Dak's already going to be looking for an extension. Didn't help that you didn't do much in free agency. I mean, you brought in Eric Kendricks, who I think is gonna step in and help a lot out on that defense. You know, he's in his 30s, but he's still playing at a high level. Coming from a Viking fan, Eric Kendricks is a beast. One of the best covering middle linebackers in the NFL. So I think with losing Van Der Esch with his injuries and stuff, bringing in a guy like Eric Kendricks, who already knows Mike Zimmer, he already has a relationship with Mike Zimmer. I think this helps the Cowboys defense a lot. Bringing a nice guy like Kendricks for that defense, I think it helps out a lot. You know, and another question is, you know, losing Stephon Gilmore, can the Cowboys secondary continue to do good without Gilmore? That remains to be seen. And there's already talks about from the 49ers that Brandon Ayuk is saying that he wants to stay amid these trade rumors and talks. At one point they had rumors out here that Ayuk may go to the Commanders. Now, if that happened, I don't see the Eagles winning the division if that happened. If Brandon Ayuk had or does go to the Commanders, if these trade rumors are right and say he does end up getting traded there, this would be phenomenal for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. That would really elevate that team if that happened. You pair him up with Terry McLaurin, nice young quarterback. Sky's the limit for the offense if that were to happen. Now, the one thing I do want to see for the NFL league-wide, what I do want to see, I want to see a plan in place, whether it be now or going into the future. The NFL needs to go away from this artificial turf. Football is meant to be played on real grass. All right. Enough of the fake field bull crap. A lot of players are getting injured on this turf. NFL sits here and shoves player safety down the league's throat. You know, they're constantly changing up rules. You know, if player safety is in your best interest for the league, then field safety should also be in the best interest of the NFL. But they already lost a lawsuit with this Sunday ticket thing. But at the same time, that's like chump change to the NFL. They're not really going to be losing out or missing out on any money. So for this field situation to happen, it's going to be nothing to the NFL. Like I said, it's going to be chump change. They rake in money left and right, whether it's advertising, whether it's, games, you name it, merchandise, you name it. So this field situation needs to be addressed, especially for the indoor teams. All right, the two indoor, well, three indoor teams that got really good turf. You got the Cardinals, who are on grass. Raiders are on grass, and I believe the Chargers and the Rams are on grass. So these indoor teams can get on grass like these other ones. It'll be fine. But major concern right now is that Giants Jet Stadium, MetLife Stadium, you got players getting hurt left and right on this stadium. I mean, it's like the old Commanders stadium back in the 90s. A lot of injuries happen on that. So they didn't get this field stuff addressed. They sit here and want to talk about player safety, then this needs to be addressed. I guess from my standpoint, it's only beneficial if it helps out the NFL. So I think this is one thing that needs to get pushed to the Players Association, is them fixing the field, actually protecting the players, actually making sure that the players are going to be safe when they're playing on the field. It's playing on turf, you need to have the right cleats on. Otherwise, if you're wearing the wrong cleats, that limits what you're able to do on the turf, because your cleats are going to get stuck into that turf, not going to be able to lift out as easy as you would with the right cleats, and your foot bending all sorts of ways, body turning, your wrong ways, you're going to get injured. Especially with the joints, players joints, the wrists, any joint that's got able to really move, it's been a problem. The wrist has been a problem, the ankles, the knees, fingers, hands. But like I said, they need to get this field thing under control, because at this rate, you still got a looming concussion thing going on league wide. Players getting concussed on fields and stuff like that. So bringing in the right helmets is a start, but having the field in place where they are safe on the right type of field is going to help. Now, this whole concussion thing, it's just, a matter of if players, say the right situation. So if the players are going down, there needs to be more safety in effect for these players to be safe when they are going down, whether they're getting hit too. That's another big thing, is the hits. But with the NFL, safety needs to be in place so the players can go home safe, go home to their families safe, and are able to have a nice future. You're hearing stories about former players We've got a lot of health problems nowadays. CTE, so that's another one. Players got really bad joints. You know, them playing this at a high level and with the safety not in place, it's gonna be hard on players, especially once their playing days are done. So I think this needs to start now. I think a petition needs to go out there to the NFL. Something needs to happen with the field because this artificial turf crap. Me as a fan, I've had enough of it. I would like U.S. Bank Stadium to be played on all grass because this turf crap needs to go away. That's what I'm gonna say about that. They have the money for it. It's not like someone's asking for $1 trillion to get this field situation addressed, right? So something needs to happen. Otherwise, they're looking at another lawsuit. In my opinion, they're looking at another lawsuit. Like I said, they had already lost this Sunday ticket fucking case. Now people that have had Sunday ticket are gonna be getting paid because they're all here fucking scamming people for the fucking cost of the Sunday ticket. Go figure that. I mean, they already got crappy refs. That's another thing that needs to get addressed with the NFL coming into this season is the officiating. Officiating lately in the NFL has been crap. When are we as NFL fans gonna see games getting called fairly? Change to the refs. All right, that needs to happen along with addressing the field situation, getting rid of the turf crap. These two things need to get addressed. Me as an NFL fan, no team should have an advantage over another team, right? It should go both ways. Once you keep having these these games with poor officiating, everybody, and I mean everybody, is going to come out of the woodwork. All the conspiracy theorists, which a lot of them have been making points lately, talking about the NFL's rigged. All right, if one team has an advantage over another team, and it's clear as day, and you got Roger Goodell, you got high-ranking people that work at the top in the NFL coming out and saying, "Oh, officiating is not a problem. This is not a problem." Dude, if us as fans are watching this and can see things that are clear as day that you guys don't want to address, there's a problem here. And that leads me to fucking think that the league is rigged. I'm sitting here watching the playoff game and you got the officiating down one team's throat the whole fucking game, especially the Kansas City Chiefs. I've noticed that a lot. All right, Patrick Mahomes can do whatever the fuck he wants. Chiefs can do whatever they want. They can get calls, go their way. Something needs to change. There needs to be a pension out there for the officiating, and a petition needs to be out there for the change from turf to grass because it's ridiculous. Players shouldn't have to be concerned going into a game whether or not they're going to get hurt or not on the fucking turf. yes, injuries can happen at any time. They can happen anytime. They happen all the time on grass. It's gonna happen. But for injuries to fucking happen more than what they would on grass, playing on fucking turf, got the concrete underneath the turf, that doesn't help your body. That takes a toll on your body. So that needs to get addressed, and this poor officiating needs to be addressed. Fire all these bad fucking referees. Bring in referees that are going to call fucking fair games. So then we can actually have a legitimate game played in front of us. Plain and simple. And another thing for we're on the NFL topic. I think CJ Stroud out of his draft class is going to have the brightest future out of that quarterback draft class. He's proven to be CJ Stroud's proven to be the best quarterback coming out of Ohio State. That's a fact. Justin Fields had a shitty time with the Bears, but that also falls on the Bears not using him correctly, not putting the people around him that they should have put around him in the beginning. So now I think he has a great opportunity in Pittsburgh. He's got Russell Wilson, future Hall of Famer, former Super Bowl champion, mentoring this kid. He's got good weapons over there. He's got a future Hall of Fame head coach in Mike Tomlin. I think this is a good situation for him. I really do. He's probably not gonna play unless something happens to Russell Wilson. But I say you give him a year or two to sit and learn behind Russ. I think Steelers are in good hands. But going back on CJ Stroud, Texans are doing all the right things right now for CJ Stroud. You brought in CJ Stroud. You brought in weapons. You're sitting here building up this defense. I think that this year, I think the Texans are gonna win their division. They're gonna be faced with a lot of challenges. Now you got Tennessee in that division that's building their team up. You got the Jaguars who are still there as a threat looming, and now you got a healthy Anthony Richardson with the Colts. And I think Colts still need to do more to their team to build up that team around Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. They just paid Michael Pittman Jr., so that's a step. But once you get a legitimate defense there in Indianapolis, I think the Colts can make a big impact. Now, another thing that has been troubling for the Colts is their current owner. All right. Already you had Jonathan Taylor's not having a good relationship with the dude. And another thing, you need to have legitimate coaching. Can't just be funneling through and going through fucking coaches left and right. You need to have a legitimate head coach that's going to be there more than fucking a year or two. So I think for the Colts to succeed, they need to get a legitimate head coach, a proven head coach. Hell, even bring Pete Carroll out of retirement. I think that would benefit the Colts a lot. Anthony Richardson with Pete Carroll, and then you got Jonathan Taylor there. That would do the Colts wonders. But that's all depending on whether Pete Carroll could get along with their current owner, who, from what I've been hearing, is really not a great dude. So once the Colts get this head coaching figured out, get a proper head coach, and once you're able to get this defense figured out for the Colts, I think they have a legitimate shot contending in that division. Right now, not so much. They still have a lot of work to do. And so as we're closing out the show, another question that's getting thrown along the NFL is, does Josh Allen have enough supporting cast to win the AFC? Dude, why is this even a fucking question thrown out there? Okay, he lost Gabe Davis. He lost Stephon Diggs, two of your premier wideouts. You brought in a bunch of nobodies to fucking play wide receiver. All right. You got two decent tight ends. You got Dalton Kincaid and you got Dalton Knox. All right. Knox. You need more of a supporting cast, and you lost two of your best safeties to free agency. You lost your corner, Tre'Davious White. It's looking to me like it's over in Buffalo. You shouldn't even be talking about can you win the AFC. You're not fucking competing with Kansas City. Okay? This dude's not Patrick Mahomes. Okay? He can't win with nobodies. Every time he does face Kansas City, he's getting his teeth kicked in. Buffalo's losing the game. So for this question to even be out there, does this dude, Josh Allen, have the right supporting cast to win the AFC? The answer is no. He doesn't. All right? Let's just stop throwing this out there. Let's focus on the Bills rebuilding their team, because this is what it looks like. This looks more like a rebuild to me. You had all these big contracts. You had to drop a lot of players to free up cap space, because you were neck and neck with the cap. This doesn't look great for the Buffalo Bills. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they can still play at the level they're playing. Otherwise, to me, clear as day, it looks like the Dolphins are clear favorite to win the AFC East. The Dolphins and the Jets are the two teams right now that I think can battle it out and win the AFC East. So I don't even know why this is a question getting thrown out there. Josh Allen does not have the right supporting cast to even be considered for the Bills to fucking win the AFC. This is asinine. Why even ask this kind of a question? No, he doesn't. You lost Stephon Diggs. You lost Gabe Davis. You lost Tre'Davious White. You lost Micah Hyde. You lost Jordan Poyer. It's done right now in Buffalo. It's done. So let's just stop talking about it. Buffalo is rebuilding, so that's what it is. Jets and the Dolphins are going to be kicking their teeth in this division in the AFC East. That's what's going to happen. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And until then, God bless and have a great Sunday.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B, Around the Indoor Football World, Shield TV, and The Big Football Show. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, Bodkin Show, and Spirit of Detroit Podcast. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Wrestling Roundup, Skull Gang 365, First and 10 with Foz, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballin' Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, 313 Den Podcast, Puckett, The Guys Huddle, Main Event Football Show, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and Off the Rails. Hope you enjoy all the shows and feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe.